Father, I am coming to you tonight with a particular kind of weariness, the weariness that comes not from physical exhaustion, but from the sustained effort of trying to find my way when the way is not clear. I feel lost in a way that is difficult to explain to someone who has not experienced it, because from the outside, my life may look reasonably directed, but on the inside I am living with a level of uncertainty about the path ahead that has become genuinely difficult to sustain. The questions are real, and they are many. The decisions in front of me have real consequences and real timelines, and the clarity I need to navigate them well has not arrived in the form or at the pace I hoped it would. I have been listening to counsel, listening to my own instincts, listening in prayer and in silence, and what I have mostly heard is the cacophony of competing voices that each claim to know what I should do, but cancel each other out in ways that leave me more confused rather than less. Tonight I am not coming with more analysis or more questions or more plans. I am coming with a simple, desperate, deeply felt request that you would cut through all of it, all the noise and all the confusion and all the competing voices, and let me hear your voice, clearly, tonight, because I am tired of feeling lost, and I believe that you are the only one who can actually tell me where I am going. Quiet everything that is not your voice, Father, and I want to be specific about how full and how loud the interior space has become, because the quieting I need is not minor. There are the voices of other people, well-meaning, genuinely caring people whose advice I have sought and received, and that now sits in a conflicting pile, because the advice is not consistent, and I do not have the clarity to know whose counsel is actually aligned with your direction for me. There are the voices of my own fears, the ones that consistently argue for the safer, smaller choice, that dress caution up as wisdom, and avoidance up as prudence. There are the voices of comparison, pointing me toward what others have chosen, and suggesting that what worked for them must be right for me. And there are the voices of culture, of expectation, of the person I think I am supposed to be by now, based on the timeline I constructed for myself, in a season when I thought I knew more than I did. Quiet all of them. Create a silence in me that is spacious and clear and genuinely receptive, and into that silence, speak. Help me to recognize your voice when it comes, because one of my genuine struggles is not just that I cannot hear you, but that I am not always confident I can tell the difference between your voice and the other voices that can sometimes sound remarkably similar. Teach me the particular quality of your guidance. Help me to recognize it not just by what it says, but by how it feels, the peace that accompanies it even when the direction it points is unexpected or demanding, the clarity that comes with it even when the path requires courage, and the way it consistently points me toward what is true and good and aligned with who you have made me to be, rather than toward what is merely convenient or comfortable or what other people expect of me. Train my spiritual hearing in this season so that discernment becomes less difficult and your voice becomes more recognizable with every time I practice listening for it. Show me the path, Father, not necessarily the entire path, because I have learned that faith rarely works that way, but enough of it to take the next step with genuine confidence, rather than the halting, second-guessing movement of someone who is not sure the ground is solid. Close the doors that are not meant for me with a clarity that I can actually recognize, not just a vague sense that something is not right, but a conviction clear enough that I do not keep returning to options you have already shut. And open the doors that are aligned with your purpose for my life with an equal clarity. Let them be unmistakably open. Let your invitation through them be something I can receive without constantly questioning whether I am imagining it. I am asking for guidance that is specific enough to be followed and clear enough to be trusted. Protect me from the temptation to move before your direction has actually arrived, because I know that the discomfort of uncertainty creates a strong pressure to simply decide something in order to end the feeling of being in between. I have made choices from that pressure before and experienced the cost of moving before the timing was right and before the clarity was genuine. Give me the patience to stay in the uncertainty without forcing a resolution that has not yet come, and help me to distinguish between the patience that is genuinely waiting on you and the avoidance that is using waiting as an excuse to not move, even when you have already spoken. Both masquerade as the same thing from the outside, but produce very different outcomes, and I need your discernment to tell them apart. Thank you for the clarity that is already being prepared for me, even in this moment, the direction that is coming, the voice that is not silent even when I struggle to hear it, and the plan that is more purposeful and more carefully designed than anything I could have mapped out for myself. Hear his voice. I believe that is not only possible, but promised, and tonight I am still, and I am listening, and I am trusting that you will make yourself heard.